Hello, can you hear me now? Okay, so you are welcome. So let's continue with this link. So you are welcome. You are welcome back. So in the last video or in the last discussion, we talked about the domain bacteria. So domain bacteria, I think from the previous discussion, we talked about that the domain bacteria is prokaryotic cells. They don't have nucleus. They don't have mitochondria. They don't have. They have single chromosome, and then apart from the single chromosome, they have peptidoglycan, and this peptidoglycan is very important for protecting this microorganism in terms of external stress. So now, without wasting much of my time, we are now going to look at the next thing that we are going to look at is the domain archaea. Domain archaea. So the first thing that I don't want you to forget under this domain bacteria, domain bacteria. Domain bacteria. So the first, sorry, domain archaea. Domain archaea. So I want to tell you something. If there is anything that you are going to forget about this archaea, there is one thing that you should never forget about it. That you should never forget about it. And whenever you forget that about archaea, it means that you lose everything. Whenever you forget that from the main archaea bacteria, so you forget everything. In fact, that is the uniqueness of the archaea. The leaf or they are found, or many are found. Number one, they are found in extreme environment. Extreme environment. If there is anything that you are going to forget about the domain archaea, so this is actually something that you should never forget about it. If you forget this, the microbiology will not forgive you. So in each and everything that we are going to discuss, there is something that is so unique to that class of the men as well as the kingdom. So the domain archaea, they are found in extreme environment. They are found mostly in the environment where we are not even imagined. Some of these archaea bacteria, you can find them surviving at a temperature greater than 120 degrees centigrade. It's extreme, 90 degrees centigrade. Some of them you can find them, some of them are halophiles, meaning that they can survive in a salty environment. In addition, apart from surviving in the extreme, halophiles, some of them are methanogens. They can excrete methanes. So we said extreme environment, it means that they can found in the environment where the environment is very harsh. Do you know that some of these microorganisms, you can find them even in fire? You can find them in fire. Please, you should tell them in the group, this is the link we are using now. So that is one of the very interesting things that you should never forget about the domain archaea. So they are found in the extreme environment. That is one of their unique. That is one of their unique nature. Then second, apart from this, they were formerly called, number two, they were formerly they were formerly called archaea bacteria. So you shouldn't forget about this. This is one of the things that you shouldn't forget, that they are formerly called archaea bacteria. When we say they are formerly called archaea bacteria, it means initially the name of this archaea bacteria, it is formerly called archaea bacteria. So you shouldn't forget about this one too. And then second, if you could remember, I told you they are prokaryotic. They are prokaryotic. So since they are prokaryotic cells, it means that they doesn't have nucleus. They doesn't have membrane-bound organelles. It means that they have single chromosome. So all this, you need to put it into consideration since they are considered as a prokaryotic cell. I shouldn't. They doesn't have nuclear membrane. And then they are single cell organism. They are single cell organism. That is number four. They are single cell organism. What is single cell? It means that they are unicellular. They have only one cell. That is the meaning. They are single cell organism, meaning that they have only one cell. And then number five. So I think since I said they are prokaryotic cells, of course you know they doesn't have nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. And then number five, they lack peptidoglycan. They lack peptidoglycan. So I think from here, sometimes it is also very important to be able to differentiate one organism from another organism. You see, Even though archaea and bacteria, they are all prokaryotic cells, and they are all single cell organisms. They all have one cell. So you see, this is similarity. They are prokaryotic cells. That is, they do not have nucleus and membrane bound organisms. That is number one. And then number two, they are single cell organisms, meaning that they have one cell. So another thing that also can help you to remember some of these things, the differences. What make archaea bacteria different from the normal bacteria is that number one, archaea, they are found in extreme environment. You can find them in fire. You can find them in salt, where you can't even imagine organisms would survive. So that is extreme environment. That is one of the difference between the archaea and the bacteria. And then the second one, bacteria has peptidoglycan, while archaea bacteria, they doesn't have peptidoglycan. So that is one. And they have unique membrane lipid, number six. They have unique membrane lipids. So that is also another main difference between archaea bacteria and the normal bacteria. That in the case of normal prokaryotic cell, sorry, normal bacterial cell, their membrane is not that so unique. It's like normal as the eukaryotic organism, like human. So what is actually make this membrane lipid so unique in the archaea bacteria? The difference is that, remember from your basic biochem 241, lipids are formed as a result of combination of fatty acids plus glycerol. So normally the bond that formed, the bond that are usually formed between this fatty acid and glycerol is ester linkage. Is ester linkage. So this is the normal lipids. This is the normal linkage that is found in the normal lipid in human, in many other organisms. But in the case of archaea bacteria, their own is not normal ester linkage. Rather, in the case of archaea, they have ether linkage, not ester, ether linkage. So that is what make their membrane lipid so unique. In fact, it is this ester linkage, this unique lipid that they have, that make them to survive in an extreme environment. Please, is this understood? Do you understand? Do you understand? Please, do you understand? Please, do you understand? Respond. Please, I am asking, do you understand? Okay. So they have ether linkage. So that is the six characteristics of the domain archaea. Then number 7, another characteristics of archaea, they have unusual metabolic activity. They have unusual unusual metabolic metabolic activities. So you see, almost everything is coming as an unusual, unique, and unusual. You see, they survive in extreme environment. That is one thing that you should never forget about the main idea. One. Second, they have unique membrane lipids. They have, or they lack peptidoglycan, and they have unusual metabolic activities. They have unusual metabolic activities in such a way that they can generate methane gas. They can generate methane gas. Okay, let me write it here. They can, they can generate, they can generate methane gas. Methane. So ladies and gentlemen, these are actually some of the characteristics of the main archaea. So I think from here, ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to differentiate or to distinguish between archaea bacteria and the normal bacteria, the domain archaea and the domain bacteria. I think from here, you will be able to differentiate them. So please, is that clear? Do you understand so that we can move to the next domain? Do you understand so that we can proceed? Sir, how to cheat in exam without getting caught? This one is beyond my 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 brain. It's beyond my brain. I can't teach you how to do examination malpractice. How come? How? No. Ha ha. No. How? So the next thing is actually the main eukarya. So the major group of microorganisms, or the major groups of microorganisms in this domain, that is the domain eukarya. The major groups of microorganisms in this domain eukarya are protister or protister and fungi. So these are the major group of microorganisms. These are the two major group of microorganisms that are found in the domain eukarya. So let's start with the protista. What are the characteristics of protista? Characteristics of protista. So you see, we look at the characteristics of the domain bacteria, domain eukarya. So the next thing is that protista, number 1, They are simple organisms. They are simple organisms. So their organisms can also classified into complex and simple. Can classified as simple and complex organisms. So complex organisms like human, we are examples of complex organisms. While simple organisms are those organisms that are easier to understand. So protista is one of the examples of simple organisms, and very importantly, they have most of them. Most of them are most of them are unicellular. So see, number one, whenever you come to protista, they are simple organisms and they have only one cell. That is why they are called unicellular organisms. And you shouldn't forget about that, please. Then the second one, they are photosynthetic. They are photosynthetic, meaning that they can undergo photosynthesis together with cyanobacteria. So most of these protista or these protists, they are photosynthetic, meaning that they can undergo photosynthesis. They can generate their own food on their own based on the presence of the chlorophyll. So that is what I want you to understand. So then, and apart from that, they are mostly found in aquatic environment. Mostly found in aquatic environment. That is in water. Aquatic environment. So I'm giving you so that at least all these things you should be able to get them one after the other. And then there are primary producers. They are primary producers. And of course, when we said primary producers is because they are undergoing photosynthesis, meaning that they can generate their own food on their own. So on their own, they can generate their own food. So that is why they are primary producers in food chain. So this is what I want you to understand. So in the case of protista. So the next thing after protista, because under kingdom protista is divided into two. Please, who can tell me? The kingdom protista is divided into two. Who can tell me the two classification of kingdom protista? Division of kingdom protista. What are the division of kingdom protista? So actually, kingdom protista is divided into two. We have protozoa and proto. We have protophyta. We have protophyta, and we have protozoans. Protozoans. And now we are moving to protozoans as part of the kingdom protista. So what are the characteristics of this protista? Number one, they are unicellular organism. Characteristics of kingdom protista. Number one, they are unicellular organism, meaning that they have only one cell. And then number two, they are animal-like organisms. They are animal-like organism. Organism. That is why they are called protozoa from the zoo. Means zoo means animal. So protozoans, they are animal-like organisms. They look like animal, and they are motile, meaning that they can move. They are they are motile. Example of protozoans is Plasmodium falciparum. Examples of protozoans is Plasmodium Plasmodium falciparum. Falciparum. What is Plasmodium falciparum? They are organisms that can cause malaria. So Plasmodium falciparum is an example of protozoans. So I want you to be actually understanding. We know that actually malaria is one of the deadly diseases that affect Africa's population. So this Plasmodium falciparum is the malaria parasite that causes 90% of most of the malaria, especially in Africa. So protozoans, Plasmodium falciparum is an example of protozoans. Another one, apart from Plasmodium falciparum, example of protozoans, we have trypanosome. Trypanosome. These trypanosomes, we have many species of trypanosome. We have Trypanosome burusae, Trypanosome congolense, Trypanosome rhodiense, Plasmodium vivax. We have many of them. So all are examples of protozoans. We have histosomiasis. Histosomes are also examples of protozoans. So all these are the examples of protozoans organisms, and they are microorganisms, and they can cause disease in our body. Please, do you understand? Are you following? Some are free living organisms. That is number four. Some are free living, meaning that they are safe. They doesn't cause any harmful effect. Some are free living organism. Some are free living organism, while some are pathogenic. While some are pathogenic, meaning that they can cause disease. Pathogens, they are pathogenic. Like the Plasmodium falciparum is pathogenic. Trypanosome is pathogenic. Please, are you following? Do you understand? Are you following me? Please, are you following? Please, are you following? Did you understand? Please, are you following? Yes, protista. Protista. So protista is divided into two. We have protophyta and we have protozoans. And protozoans are the microorganisms that can actually cause diseases, as I explained, where I give you the characteristics of these protozoans. They are unicellular organisms, meaning that they have only one cells, and then we have at the same times they are animals like organisms. They are animals like organisms, even from the name protozoan, zoo means animal. So they are animals like organism. And then they are motile, meaning that they can move from one point to another. Some are free and some are pathogenic, meaning that some can cause disease. That is why they are called pathogenic. And examples of these protozoans, we have Plasmodium falciparum. Plasmodium falciparum is an example of organisms that cause malaria. And we have trypanosomes. We have different species of trypanosome. We have trypanosome burusae. We have trypanosome congolense. We have trypanosome rhodense. All these are the examples of protozoans organisms. Is that clear? Please, is that clear? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking this is where I'm going to stop. I think we have actually uh, covered a lot today. So, what do you think are we going to discuss tomorrow? Do we need live class tomorrow or we should stop here? Maybe the next tomorrow. You know that we are doing a lot of courses. We are doing physiology, the two physiology 227 and 228. We are doing anatomy. So what do you suggest? Okay, I think maybe we can discuss that in the group. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much and see you next.